Hello, everyone. Welcome. Y'all, have y'all seen this story about the US Open drama? The heated conversation with Taylor Townsend and Helena Ostapenko? Ostapenko? I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but well, apparently Homegirl lost, and maybe she was in disbelief, but she was not having it. Helena, that is, she lost the match. And after the match, when they usually shake hands and go about their business, well, Helena was like, she was like, I got something to say. So let's play the clip and hear the tension, y'all.
To the finish with a flourish there, and didn't she just do so very well to handle a moment when 5-3 down in the opening sets of this one? No love lost between these two. One thing you know for sure, Taylor Townsend ain't for backing down.
Not at all. And you can see that emotion coming out of Taylor there. The entire court on court 11. Taylor egging it on. You love to see that competitive fight. All she's been through.
Taylor, congratulations. Fiery match start to finish. We'll get to it all. Can you fill us in on the conversation you were having with Jelena out there?
Yeah, I mean, it's competition. People get upset when they lose, and you can't. Some people say bad things. She told me I have no class, I have no education, and to see what happens when we get outside the U.S. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I beat her in Canada outside the U.S. I beat her in New York outside the U.S. So let's see what else she has to say.
Y'all heard that? She was she was calling Taylor classless and uneducated, pretty much being a racist because she lost the match. So she felt entitled. I love me some tennis. Don't get me wrong. I used to watch tennis non-stop back in the day. I love me some Venus Williams, Serena Williams, Coco Golf. Oh, speaking of Coco, she also chimed in and about the whole ordeal situation with between Taylor and Helena. So let's watch that.
I'm just wondering if you saw what happened at the end of the match and what your thoughts are on it, if so.
Yeah, no, I saw what happened at the end of the match, and obviously I'm close with Taylor, and I can tell you, well, the first two things that happened. Taylor always is warmed up at the net since juniors. I played her in a challenger like when I was 14, and that's what she did. And it's not against the rules. And then same thing with the let court, even though it's something that some people do. But she had a winner afterwards, and um, it's not against the rules either. But yeah, I mean, I know what was said after the match. I think that's, not, I think it was a heat of the moment thing. And I think Yelena was probably feeling emotions after she lost. I do think that that shouldn't have been said, regardless of how you're feeling, especially given those were the reasons that she stated. And knowing Taylor personally, she's the opposite of that. She's one of the nicest people that I ever met. And whenever I've had a tough moment on court, she's texting me, making sure, checking in on how I am. So yeah, I really hate to see that. Maybe this is some of the first people hearing who Taylor Townsend is, and I don't want that to be the main focus of who she is, because she's a lot more than that. She's a mom, she's a great friend, she's a talented tennis player, and a good person. So I think by the end of this tournament, I hope that people will do a deep dive into her and get to know her more than what was said in the previous match.
Okay, last question.
Yeah, that's how she felt. And also, I used to love watching Rafael Nadal, the Clay King. I remember I used to hate Roger Federer, y'all, because they used to go head to head, and Roger, always got the best at him in most tournaments. But when it came to the clay, Roger Federer was not seeing Nadal at all. He was not seeing him at all. Nadal always smoked him. But after a long while, I did put down my hatred, or not hatred. I would say more so annoyance for him, for Roger, because he was he was a badass, you know? And you can't deny his greatness. So I'm like, whatever. And who remember um um Andy Roddick? Y'all remember him? He was another favorite of mine. Before we get down to him, I wanna also show another clip of Naomi Osaka. She also spoke on her behalf, on Taylor's behalf as well. So let's go ahead and watch that.
Following up on that, when a player gets so angry that they would use words like no education and no class to criticize a black player, and when those kind of words have a bad history in this country and kind of unfair, I mean, how do you react to something like that when you hear that?
Yeah, I mean, I saw that part, obviously. It's been on the TV like every 15 minutes. I mean, that's really difficult to say. I think obviously it's one of the worst things that you can say to a black tennis player in a majority white sport. And granted, I know Taylor and I know how hard she's worked and I know how smart she is. So she's the furthest thing from uneducated or anything like that. But if you're like genuinely asking me about the history of Ostapenko, I don't think that's the craziest thing she said. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's ill timing and the worst person you could have ever said it to. And I don't know if she knows the history of it in America. But I know she's never gonna say that ever again in her life. But yeah, I mean, it's just terrible. Like that's just really bad.
All right. So speaking of Naomi, she's never been the same. After she had that baby with that one dude, she's never been the same. But anyways, back to Andy Roddick. He was another favorite of mine before he retired. And Roger Federer denied him his trophy during that spectacular game. I don't remember what game that was. I don't even remember the tournament it was. Damn, what was that tournament? Comment down below if y'all remember that tournament. But I remember that game went so late in the night. You could barely see. Boy, that was one for the books. I really love that game. That game went so late, and Roger Federer came out with the win. And I was so sad and so disappointed because Andy had him. But at the end, he lost it. And who remember Justine Henin? I'm telling y'all, I'm a long tennis time. I'm a long time tennis watcher. I used to watch tennis every single time tennis was on. The man, it don't matter who was playing. I was watching tennis, and but Justine Henin, she was a great tennis player. If she would have stuck around, she would have gave Serena Williams a run for her money, child. She was always in her way, but she retired out of nowhere. But I believe she was having marital issues or family issues, and she just disappeared. But, however, as for Venus Williams, though, I used to love me some Venus Williams. I love her so much. I remember when she started her clothing line, 11. I believe that's what her clothing line is called, 11. She came to my town and I went to see her. Um and I went to see her for an autograph. So I was in line, she signed my shirt that I bought and everything. But before she signed that shirt, while waiting in line, while waiting in line, she was cheery and smiley. She was in good vibes. She was making small talks with people. But by the time I got to her, she was talking to her sister, right? I'm not sure the sister's name. She's the bigger one. She's always been the bigger one. I think she lost weight now, but she was the bigger sister. And she kind of ignored me. And no eye contact, no smiles, no small talks. She just she just kind of signed my shirt. She signed the shirt and kind of go about my business, right? And I was so sad. I was so sad. I almost cried. I almost cried. Y'all had no idea. Y'all had no idea. I was on cloud nine the whole day, counting down the hours, the minutes to finally meet and to tell her how much I loved her. She was such an inspiration. And just to get dismissed like that was, oh my God. That was tough for me. But I was young. I was young, y'all. I was mad young back then. So, um, but y'all gotta keep that in mind. I was a little young, so my feelings was kind of hurt. But don't meet y'all idols, y'all. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody's experience is different. Maybe Venus was tired that day and had a lot going on. Like I said, she was very cheerful with the people ahead of me. And I guess it's by the time I got to her, it was whatever. She was in the middle of a conversation, and I'm sure she didn't mean to. It kind of ignored me, but hey, it is what it is. I got over it. I still got the shirt. Um, I still got the shirt tucked in my closet somewhere in a plastic bag. Those plastic bag that protect the clothes and stuff. Yeah, I still got that. So I'm cool. I got over it. But that's just my little story of my tennis. But yeah, that Helena chick, she ended up apologizing afterwards. I felt like her apology was not genuine at all because yeah, she apologized. I felt like her apology was not genuine because she was like, hey to all, sorry for the way I acted, blah 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 blah. So it wasn't directly towards Taylor. It was more so towards the fans or towards her fans or the general public, so to the people. Because she was getting a lot of backlash about this racist antics that she went on about calling this girl classless and uneducated and stuff. So I believe that's why she apologized, like a PR apology, but it wasn't directed towards Taylor. So I didn't really feel her apology was genuine. But that's my little story, y'all. So keep in touch. Until next time. Later.